Hello guys, this is Jonathan Steadman. Today guys, in this episode, what I'll be doing is I'll be showing you guys how to install HackerQoS inside this Gnome Boxes software. So it is comes with default on Fedora, or we can install it through a terminal or whatever we want to do with it. It might be in the software center if we're lucky, but basically we can install it multiple ways. So I just opened it up, and this is the screen that you guys will most likely will see. So basically, I will talk about what is Gnome Boxes for people who don't know what that is. Well, basically, it is like Photobox, but it's like a replacement of Photobox. So if you don't like Photobox, if you think it's a little bit hard to use, or if you think it's too easy, or whatever, I don't know. Basically, you can try out Gnome Boxes, and I think that this is more simpler to use than actual Photobox. So what we can do right now is show you guys how to basically use it now. Okay, so these are photo machines I have created so far. So if you basically want to add a photo machine, just click onto the add button, and now from here we can go to select which photo machine we want, which ISO file we want. So we can go for Majaro, we can go for Ventilate, we can go for Red Hat, Fedora 34 if we wanted to, and so on. So in that case, what we'll be doing is installing HackerQoS. So just click over here, and now from here what you guys will see is the system requirements. Which is memory and disk space, and also we're going to see the system name. So this is beta 3. So if you want to give it more RAM, then please feel free to, but I'm going to give it lower RAM because it does not need a lot. And now for disk space, I'd give it around, let's be reasonable and give it around maybe 10 gigabytes should be fine. This is a very small install, so you don't have to go to create. And then from here we should be able to create this photo machine. Okay, so it might take a minute for it to load, but basically if I click onto these three buttons over here, then this is where I'll be able to take a screenshot, add to favorites, or we can even do a forced shutdown, or we can restart the actual photo machine. Or we can go to properties, and then from here we can change a few settings, such as changing your name, seeing how much of a CPU is being used, and how much RAM we've got, and disk space, and we can also make it run in the background. We can give it as much CPUs as we truly want. I have 2 CPUs for this photo machine, and this is an ISO file, and basically this of USB devices that you can enable. This is snapshots. So basically a snapshot will enable you to basically have a snapshot. Is basically a tool that will allow you to basically have a recovery. So that way if something bad happens, then we can fall back to the previous version. So this is basically what a snapshot is. As we don't have an operating system yet installed on this photo machine, and I don't see a point of creating one right now, so we're going to have to go into the actual photo machine and start installing the system, and then I will show you guys how easy it is to create a snapshot. So just wait for it to respond. Good. Okay, so from here we can try it out. If we don't know much about it, then we can try out if we wanted to. It's pretty much a very simple operating system that was based on the BOS system. So I have to go to install to the hard drive, and then we can read this terms and conditions. I don't read, so I don't need to read that. So you can go on to continue, and then this will basically scan for any hard drives. So set up permissions because you don't have it formatted yet. So I have to go to set up permissions, and I'll have to select this one because this is our disk, our hard drive. This is our DVD drive, but I'm going to select this one. So go to permission, and I can format it as one of these. So what I normally do is I set it up as a FAT32 system file or a B file system. But because I'm installing HackerQoS, I normally like to stick with the file system because I think this one is a good one to use for this case. And block size, this is recommended. You can obviously change this. So yeah, I'm just going to stick with the default. So we can just click on the format. And now we can click on to write changes, so that will just format it very quickly, and we can press on to OK. And now what you guys can do is probably just exit by just clicking on to exit button over here. Right, now you can choose the disk target. So I would select this one, which you only have 9.83 gigabytes of space, and now we can click on to begin, and that should start installing it. So guys, what I'll be doing right now is pausing this video, and once it has been installed, I'll be back. Okay guys, this only took around 5 seconds to install. So anyway guys, so once I have it installed, what you guys will need to do is click onto this restart button, and this should restart the photo machine. Okay, so this shouldn't take a long time to reboot though, unless we made a mistake, but I don't think we did. So basically what you guys could do is going to reload from the photo machine any minute now. What I will do guys though is possibly just pause this video, and once it has been booted up I'll probably be back. Okay guys, so I'm back into the system, and basically now we can do some customizations. You can basically change the resolution if you want the resolution to be bigger. So I'm kind of happy with it is, but you guys can obviously go to the, I didn't use this much by the way, so I'm not an expert on this, but if you go to basically, there should be a way to change the resolution. I'm not 100% sure how to do this. We may have to go to appearance for example, or we could go to screensavers. Basically these are the softwares that we could go to. I would go to screen, and this is how you guys can change the resolution. So you want to change it to around that much, then you can do that, apply, and that should just change it a lot more bigger. You can keep this one, or we can go for this one, and hopefully this one will fill it up. Undo, that didn't do much. Okay, cool. So we can obviously change it to that resolution if we wanted to, and I'll just keep this. I don't want to mess around with this anymore. I don't want to keep this boring video boring. So basically guys, this is how QoS, or guys can go to the user guide, and this will tell you more about it. We can also go to quick tour, and this will obviously tell you how to use it. So basically, if you guys want to maximize this, what you guys have to do is click onto this button, and that should maximize it. And if you want to go to minimize it again, and click onto that button, that should minimize it. Now guys, you may be wondering what is this? So basically, this is a keyboard keys that we could click onto. But if we do this obviously on the real computer, then obviously it will take effect on the real PC. So the reason why they did that is to make it easier for guys to switch to the terminal mode. Because if we do that on the main PC on the actual keyboard, then what I've noticed a lot of times is that it actually took me to the terminal instead of taking me to the terminal in the photo machine. So it's a bit useful to have this keyboard stuff here. And you may see these three dots, so we basically explained this already. So I would go back to properties, and I'm going to show you guys how to basically create a snapshot. So click over here, and now click onto this add button. Now it's going to be creating a new snapshot, and then if you guys have any kernel panics or anything wrong with the system, then you guys will be able to recover from it. Okay, so just wait for it to finish creating a new snapshot. This might take a few seconds, shouldn't take long at all. And fail to create a snapshot of that. Okay, we try again. Maybe I'm just running out of disk space or something. Failed to create snapshots. That is completely fine, but you guys would just click onto that, and then once it has created a snapshot, then you guys will be able to click over here, and then it can be recovered from the system. So for some reason it is failing to create a snapshot. I don't know if it's a bug or if I'm running out of disk space, but basically this is how you guys can do it. From here we could change your memory, so if you want to go for higher memory then you can, but I don't really recommend going through that much. Recommend it to give it at least half of it, and this is, we can give it more disk space if we wanted to. And this is the CPUs. We can run this in the background and so on. So anyway guys, this was like a quick tour of Gnome disks. I will show you something else as well. Basically this is a search. So if you want to search up for example FreeBSD, then this will show up FreeBSD. Easy lemon squeezy. And if you want to display them like this, then you can display them like this, and they will go down on a list instead of as a blocks. So we could do that. This is a tick. I'm not too sure what that does. Click on an item to select on them. So we can click onto this one and we can select it if we wanted to. Select none, and we can delete it, or we can add it to a favorite, or we can open a new window. Okay. This is basically how to delete photo machines, and from here there will be keyboard shortcuts, so you guys can click here to set up keyboard shortcuts if you wanted to, or see some keyboard shortcuts. And then over here what you guys can do is go to help, and this will basically open up the help documentation, I guess. And it indeed does open up help documentation for boxes, so I guess it will give you a tour around it and so on. So you guys can look at this for more in-depth tutorial. Okay, so basically, if when I go to about boxes, then we can find out what version it is running and see if it's up to date, and it does seem like it is up to date for me. So credits is the people that is created it, and artwork and is translated by these people. So these are the developers of this software. You guys can click onto their name to find out more about them if you wanted to, and we can go to their website through here, and basically you can go to Gnome. This is a license for them, so you guys can view what this license is all about. Okay guys, so it's still running, but if you want to end the process, then what guys need to do is do a forced shutdown, or you can shut down using the system. I'm just going to wait for it to load. It shouldn't take that long to load at all. Still loading. What I'll do guys right now is pause this video, and once it has been loaded, I'll be back. Okay guys, so it just hung there while loading, so I had to restart the application, and it seems like it is loading now. So I guess that was like a small bug, I guess. Okay, so basically we have just loaded up, right? And now to shut down, basically all you do is to basically you can force shut down by clicking over here, or you can just restart from clicking over here. But I'm going to show how to shut down on this main PC, on this main operating system, I mean. Because I don't want to do a forced shutdown, because that could lead to data loss. And data loss is not a good thing. So to shut down, what you guys will have to do is go to shut down, and now we can power off, or we can restart the device. So if I click onto this power off, then this will just shut down for operating system. And yeah guys, that's to shut it down, Gnome Boxes. And now if you want to exit, then obviously press onto the X bar, and we should be exited. So basically, this is my review about Gnome Boxes. So basically, I really do like it a lot. It's very easy to use, and it's basically very good in my honest opinion. I was kind of new up in PhotoBox, and I think it just came out a few months ago or something like that. So basically, it does do it. It has still got bugs, and I had one of the issues of creating a snapshot for my photo machine. So if the GNOME team is watching this, then please send me a reason why I possibly got the error. Maybe I don't have enough disk space or something like that. I'm going to check out how much disk space I even have. So for that, I need to go to disk usage analyzer, and then I can see I've got pretty much a decent amount of storage, 99.7 gigabytes. So I do guess it is not my storage issue. I guess it's a bug, but I'm not completely sure. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed this video, please put a like and please subscribe, and put down some feedback down in the description. And yeah guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.